Fallon apologized.
Dude, this is so crazy, man.
This is
I saw
20
this
years
story.
ago.
Well, that almost shows
Let
you
them
how...
give the audience go.
So the other day, Jimmy
I'm not doing
Fallon
that,
went on
doctors
Twitter and apologized for a sketch that he did on SNL about 20 years ago, where he was impersonating Chris Rock, I believe.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
And this is a clip of it.
Just play real quick first.
So
you're not
wants
allowed-
a little whiskey.
so you're
Is
not
that
allowed-
cut clean?
Yeah, it's clean.
So even in a sketch, you're not allowed to play your castmate.
Yeah, but hold on.
If he's black.
He's doing a thing of Chris Rock.
Yeah, so you're not allowed to do that. Even that's racist, huh? Okay. I don't think black people feel that way, I bet. Most of them would be like, what?
But also, there's got to be a statute of limitations as well.
20 years?
Yes,
It's
you have
so
to understand.
hilarious. When you apologize, you give way to these morons that actually make something of this.
And if we're gonna cancel culture or anything, which is so fucking stupid, this is 20 years ago, and he's playing a character that is his friend who happens to be black, and he's doing a spot-on impression. But there has to be some responsibility. If we're gonna get mad at it, which we shouldn't, but if we are, does Saturday Night Live not take any responsibility? Who put the sketch together? The writers wrote it. They filmed it and okayed it.
But it just shows you the temperature of America at the time. Like, this corporation wouldn't be jeopardizing the dollars and putting this on the air if that wasn't the temperature of
By
the nation
corporation,
at
you
the
mean
time.
NBC Universal.
GE, NBC Universal, whatever
But
it was
also,
at the
by
time.
the way, also there wasn't nobody when it was on, and nobody today, if you really were honest with yourself, would say this is Jimmy Fallon being racist. No, he was doing Chris Rock in the sketch.
He's his good friend.
It's
Yeah.
comedy. So he's playing Chris Rock. So
Did
so what
anybody
he's-
ask Chris Rock though?
I'm sure Chris
Rock was
fine.
like, what?
But then Chris also has to be like, well, yeah, I guess it's
No, he
changed.
doesn't.
The thing is,
Yeah.
like,
It's
if
his
that was
friend.
made
Right.
today, of course, drag the person. Like, that's not a thing
You don't
you
say
do.
drag.
Well, no, don't drag
but-
the
but
person.
internet
if it's
drag.
comedy, if it's
Okay.
comedy,
Well, I say just like there was a time and place when it was culturally acceptable to maybe do that for comedy, but by today's standards, definitely not. But you have to take into account this is 20 years ago.
No, but hold
Where do
on.
you stop at? What about Jimmy Kimmel playing Karl Malone?
There's that, yeah. There's countless cases of people
But that's
doing
not.
that.
But that's not. But what I'm saying is that it's all context. To say that that's offensive in 2020 is only you're saying that only because there's a small minority of people, mostly white, by the way, and super left, who are saying that this is outrageous. Blackface, yes, there's a history of blackface,
Yes.
and it's a racist thing.
I think-
nobody's saying that. There is exception to a rule where somebody is doing something where you know they're not racist.
But you know what? This isn't the problem. A real problem would be the young African American who was killed by the cop. That's a problem.
right, that's
Jimmy
right. That's right.
Fallon doing this 20 years ago of
If-
a skit of his friend of Chris Rock.
Yeah.
This ain't a.
If someone did
you're barking
that,
at the wrong.
if someone did that today, yes, I think people are sort
said
of
drag 'em.
they're projecting. They are thinking that this was made yesterday,
Yeah,
or
that's right.
emotionally they believe that to be true.
That's right.
But you have to add context to it. Understand this was done 20 years ago, and by today's standards, yeah, that's kind of you wouldn't do that. But society has evolved, and you have to factor that in.
I can't even believe that. But this is a conversation where people are like, "Oh, Jimmy Fallon should lose his job over a skit."
And you know
Well,
that
let me ask you this.
apology.
Would you guys cancel? Would you guys take the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and throw it away, which has given birth to the longest standing democracy the world's ever known, and has actually the language in those two documents are used to liberate marginalized people and were used to marginalize and abolish slavery, etc. The founding fathers were slave owners, a lot of them. Does that mean that we take
we say
everything
all
they
of them?
did? Yeah. Does that mean, and they were, I'm sure, racist.
All of them.
And but does that mean we
They
take
use the
what they
N-word.
created, that incredible document, and it has no validity? No, you have to separate the man from his work. Obviously, there are inconsistencies, like you said, historically. There were historical inconsistencies. There are inconsistencies in human
Let me see
beings
the video.
as well.
The thing is, you can only be as woke as the year you're in.
Yeah.
So
Preach.
the standards you have today, you can't apply them to like 100 years ago.
Well, how
'cause-
far are we going to go back?
Yeah.
How far? But if you can go 20, where's the limit? Where are you going to stop at?
Well, what about Picasso, who treated women like fuck, or Hemingway,
dude,
who treated
we could
women like
keep-
that?
yes. we could
keep
Do you
going.
want to get rid of all his art?
Yeah.
Do we want to get rid of all Hemingway's writing? But I'm curious. So I guess you have to be a saint. You have to be a perfect saint, and to do anything worthwhile. Because anything you do, I guess Woody Allen's movies. I don't think First of all, but let's just say whatever he is. There are people who create genius works of art like Dali, who are ghastly people, who.
But I wouldn't say Fallon is a ghastly person or anything.
No, but what about Michael Jackson? So he's never proved in the court of law that he was a child molester or a pedophile. So should we not play his music anymore because those accusations?
Well, the greatest joke is
Like,
Bill,
where do you
Bill,
want to
Bill
stop?
Burr's greatest joke is he goes, if he did fuck the kids, we're still going to have to come to terms with the fact that he wrote Thriller. And that's fucking genius. I hope I didn't give his joke away. Did he put that on his special already?
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. I think his joke is a little different, but
Yeah, I think MJ's stuff is just so embedded in the culture of the world that you can't remove it. Like you can cancel Kevin Spacey, you can try to like remove R. Kelly, but MJ, it's impossible. You know what I mean? Like,
but why would you? He was never proven in a court of law.
yeah,
And if you go back and you look at all the articles, when you actually look into it, like they really had nothing.
What about Woody Allen? His stepdaughter, when she was 7, had a memory, 7. And he, in 2 court cases, he was exonerated. But yet we're going to cancel him completely out. There are a lot of these things where Harvey Weinstein, piece of shit. We know who the pieces of shit are.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Cosby, you got 20, 60 women coming. Come on, we know it. We know the truth. We know what you did, motherfucker. You got to be in jail. 100%. 100%.
Let me see this video.
Sure. Rock, now we're talking. Where is it? Man, oh man, read this book. I've seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and guess what? Not a lot of black folks on the show. Right. Not a lot of black folks.
I remember when this aired. Like I love SNL and I grew up on it, and there wasn't a fervor at the time.
We gotta ask that.
Looking at it now, you're like yeesh, yeah,
But at the time, you didn't even think of it.
yeah.
It was just like, oh, that's a great Chris Rock.
Yeah.
I didn't think,
I think
Jimmy
what's-
Fallon's a little racist.
What's happening is, younger kids are discovering these clips like it's new to them, and they don't realize that it was, or maybe they do, but they're not thinking about it. That this is
Yeah.
20 years ago, and the world grows and evolves. And thank God we're in a better place. But you have to apply context
it's a culture
to your
that's
thought.
trying to find racists. It's like a headhunting thing. It's like find the
I think it's
racist
a
and then
boredom.
get and you
I
get.
think it's a boredom.
Canceling has become sport.
You get social points for it.
They
Yeah.
get validation for doing
Yes,
it.
you get social points for
Because
being.
they're so unhappy with their lives. They're like, oh, if we could fuck over Jimmy Fallon. Look at this video from 20
Dave
years
Rubin
ago.
trying to talk at a college, and these people are getting with Black Lives Matter. They won't listen. They're trying to drown him out. It's not helpful. This is actually not how you combat racism.
Yeah, there is real racism and stuff, and like it's like choosing your battles.
Yeah.
There's like
The-
way more
the
fucked up
battle
shit
is
going
that
on
those
than something
fucking
made 20
cops
years
that
ago.
Killed that guy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
You want to protest anything and make a fuss about it, that would be something to make a fuss.
You know what's amazing is that this shit keeps on happening, like video after video. You think like, how long have cell phone cameras been around and all that, and like stuff like this keeps on happening.
Well,
and it's scary.
But when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, this was exactly why he took a knee. And when he goes, oh, he's anti-American, he's anti-military. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm bringing awareness to how black people are marginalized and how they're oppressed against police. That's
Yeah.
why I'm taking a knee.
Isn't it crazy how everyone has a camera in their pocket and this shit's still going on? Can you imagine what life was like with no cell
Oh my
phones
God.
back in the day?
Well, that was the Rodney King thing.
This is going on.
Black people said we've been dealing with this forever.
Yeah.
Like the Rodney King thing was a momentous moment in American history because a lot of the black community were like, "You think that's fucking new for us?
Mm-hmm.
We've been dealing with that shit forever," and they have. So you can understand the
And
frustration.
It was in Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis.
I can't.
Like,
watch this.
I can't even watch
Yeah,
these.
it's
Like
horrific.
new ones will come up and I just can't hit play on these things.
I don't
I'll
watch
read
any
the
of them.
story,
I just
but
can't
like,
watch that guy kneeling on his neck like that.
For multiple minutes, like
8
5
minutes.
minutes. Some people say
Now-
8, some people say 5. Either way, that's
Yeah.
way too
Now
long.
again,
wrong with it?
that guy died. In my opinion, that guy should be that police officer. All due respect to the police,
all four of them are
all
fired.
four.
hard job they have, but that right there, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You should go to jail.
All,
should go to jail
all
for that.
4 should be on trial for murder. All 4.
Just sitting there watching that.
How does one of them not go, dude, get off his fucking neck?
Here's what I say,
How
Brendan.
are you not a
Here's
human
what I'd
going,
say.
"Dude, get off his neck"?
Here's what I'd say. It's possible that the fucking other is it possible? Is it? I'm his question. Because I wasn't there. I didn't see the video. That the other 4 didn't understand the damage that was being done to his neck.
I'll tell you this right now. Let's say you and Fahim had some weird beef. Let's say, and he came in to do the show, and you guys start fighting.
Yeah.
And you eventually got Fahim down, and you were grabbing him, putting your knee into his neck.
Yeah.
Brian, you're gonna fuck him up, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But now we have carpet here. Now imagine you're on blacktop.
Yeah.
And the cop is using the car as leverage and driving the knee into the
I
guy.
didn't know that. Yeah. Fuck you.
How, just as a human being, take out being a cop, dude, you're gonna kill him.
He's a
and
bad
also,
guy.
what's the
That guy's a
risk?
bad guy.
Well, they're all bad. They're all pieces of shit.
Yeah.
How does not one of them go, dude, get the fuck off? He's gonna die. 8 minutes? You know how fast a guy can choke you out?
Yeah. Of course.
8 minutes.
And he was begging for, apparently.
Yeah,
he's-
I think there's got to be serious repercussions for this type of stuff.
Well,
Otherwise,
No,
there's
those
no.
guys have to go to prison, dude.
Yes.
Otherwise, they just lost their jobs. The governor came out and goes, the mayor goes, well, don't worry about they lost their job. No, you don't understand. That's not good enough. Those guys have to pay. Those guys have to pay. And then you look at the city of Minneapolis, they went, no, this isn't good enough. Do you have the picture of that, Jen? The streets are filled.
Yeah.
Black,
They
white,
should be. They
Mexican,
should be.
filled.
Yeah, it's a
there's-
human
there's-
issue. It's not a race issue. It's a human issue.
Yeah.
It's like you do that to a human being.
This
it's-
can't
it's
happen in
outrageous.
2020, man.
Yeah.
And then I think this puts a little more spotlight on Colin Kaepernick, where we gave a ton of shit. Oh, you don't really want to play football. I even said that. I'm like, dude, how bad does he want to play football?
I can't breathe.
Look, and that's not a black thing. That's a human thing.
That's a human thing.
White, black, Mexican,
That's right.
Indian.
That's actually a good thing right there. When you see that, you're like, there you go. That's worth protesting.
Well, this shows you the power of the people. The government doesn't have the power. The power of the people do. Because if no one did any of this, those guys don't lose their job. You know, that guy that murdered in Georgia. They were going to let those guys off.
Yeah.
Until finally it got brought to light, and then people get held accountable, and then they got to do something about it. They were just going to fire. They weren't even going to fire those guys. So there was this huge protest.
Yep.
It's nuts, man.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Yeah.
Watch your tone.
Okay. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? Use some of that boxing you've been doing?
Don't you fucking disrespect.